Hi Capricorn, welcome to your reading for July. My name is Linda. Thanks for tuning in. I've already shuffled your cards and thrown down your spread here. This card represents where you are now. Nice. This is the challenge you face, the resources you can use. This is what are the hidden forces. This is the potential outcome. This is very nice. This is lovely. And from the runes, we're going to take one to give insight on what is the spiritual lesson in your energy right now. Okay, I'm going to read that as a reversal. Okay, so you are clearly here at a new beginning. You have actually at the beginning and end of your reading, like the Fool, which is the first card from the Major Arcana. And then you have the Time-Space card here, which in the traditional tarot is the Judgment card. It's in reverse. So these are kind of bookends of the reading, and they are also bookends of the Major Arcana in the tarot. So you're clearly at a new beginning here. There is something fresh about your energy. There's like, you've been through a lot, clearly. You've been through a lot. You're still going through a lot. There's definitely like something here that hasn't closed out completely that you're looking at right now. But it's saying here, like, this is a time for you to step forward with trust, with optimism, with a sense of optimism and opportunity that's ahead of you. With, you know, the thing about the Fool is that people usually miss when they're reading the tarot is that the Fool has been through a lot. It's not like the energy of someone who's completely naive and innocent, although it can represent that. But the Fool has actually been on a really tough journey. He's been through a lot of things. He's seen a lot of things. He's been through a lot of painful things. There's been a lot of challenges. There's been a lot of aggravation. There's been a lot of problems to solve. And the reason why the Fool is at the zero position is that he's been through it all and he's come back around. So with all of that experience and healing and grieving and overcoming obstacles and overcoming trials and tribulations, there's so much growth, there's so much wisdom, there's so much knowledge that's been accumulated. He's able to step forward with only what he needs and leave the baggage behind, leave the resentment behind, leave the anger, leave all the pain and hurt behind, and come through ready to go again, knowing that there might be some more challenges ahead, but he's already seen a lot and he knows that he has what it takes to manage the things that are ahead of him. And that's the place where trust comes from. It's about trusting yourself. It's not about trusting everything in front of you. It's about trusting that you will know how to respond, how to react, how to deal with the challenges as they come up, because you've already seen a lot and been through a lot. Okay, Capricorn? Now, we have here the challenge you face and the resources you can use. I'm actually seeing this as two people. We have the King of Wands in reverse and the Queen of Cups upright. And then this Five of Wands in reverse here is in the position of what are the hidden forces. So how I'm seeing this energy, actually, I'm going to read the whole thing rather than breaking it down by cards. What I'm seeing here is that there are two people here who have, I'm hearing, obligations. These two people have obligations to each other. And you may be seeing this person as the problem, and you being kind of like the, not innocent, that's not the right word. I kind of see you as being this person who feels like this person might be obligated to you. And there's something that you feel about this person which is problematic, which is why they're in reversed. I feel like this person is someone that you, as I said, that you have some obligations to, or you've had some obligations to in the past. And now there's a need here for like people to move on and go their own ways. Coming back to the Five of Wands in reverse here. This is about finding a way to process information with this person in a very mature way, emotionally mature way. This is about not being competitive and not fighting and not creating conflict. Because the Five of Wands here is saying to me that there needs to be very, what's the right word? I want to make sure I get this right for you. So give me a second to get the message out clearly. I feel like there's a tendency for these people to flare off each other. Like there's some friction. They maybe fight and argue. Five of Wands in reverse here is saying, in order to really come through this time period, I'm hearing unscathed, it's up to you to come forward with a very frictionless energy. Don't pick fights here. This is not going to help you. Do not pick fights. Do not create conflict. You need to be the one to show that you have evolved. Show that you have come through this time period and learned the lessons that you needed to learn so that you can actually deal with this person and deal with the obligation that's here. Deal with the obligation that's here in the most refined, evolved, mature, adult way possible. Then you're going to get a really good result. There's going to be a really good outcome for everyone involved. But if you play small and you be petty and childish and immature and argumentative, it's not going to end well for anybody. But that's not to say that you want to back down or avoid confrontation. There's some things here that need to be worked through. I feel that. There's some things here that need to be worked through because you have the Judgment in reverse. People still haven't fully awoken to the deepest lessons of what's available to them, and that includes you too. You're not like the martyr in this story. You're not innocent either. You also have things to learn. You still have growing to do. There's still some awakening to your own growth potential that you need to acknowledge and work with, right? You're not there yet. You're not completely there yet. But you need to show here that you're willing to face up to the things that need to be confronted and looked at and communicated about without being petty, without being emotionally immature, without trying to start a conflict or a fight that won't actually have the potential to get resolved. Okay? This is about confronting the issues that are there from this emotionally mature place. That's why the Queen of Cups is here. This is in a position of what resources you can use. This is saying here you need to bring compassion. You need to bring emotional maturity. You need to bring also emotional endurance because this will take time. And you need to be willing to go through it to completion because it won't actually be completed until there are those resolutions that are possible, right? It's not about just walking away and then it being the end of it. I don't feel like you can actually walk away from this. Judgment reverse, Five of Wands reverse. It's not a small matter here. It's something serious. It's something big that needs to be taken care of. So your emotional maturity, your compassion, your willingness to be self-reflective rather than just projecting all of what you can see onto the other person. It's also about channeling like this divine, I'm hearing divine intervention. I'm going to look up that because I'm not sure if how that is really relevant here. Just a second. Intervention. It says here the action or process of intervening, interference by a state in another person's affairs, or the action taken to improve a medical disorder, or the occasion on which a person with an addiction or other behavioral problem is confronted by a group of friends. All right, let me just pull this all in so that makes sense here. What I was getting was divine intervention. I'm not sure why I picked up the rune then, so I feel like I should go and get that interpretation. Okay, this rune is called Rakano. It's in the reverse. Just opening up my notes on it. In reverse, this says family problems. Yeah, there we go. Family problems, domestic troubles, anxiety about someone close to you, carelessness, abandon, loss of control, blurring of consciousness, deceit, sterility, and stagnation. All right. So yeah, there is something here, like a conflict between these two people that needs to be addressed in the, like I said, with compassion, with emotional maturity, with emotional endurance, with what else? a lot of care and concern, right? Because if there's a family problem here, there's some domestic issues. There needs to be a willingness for people to have a dialogue, even if it's difficult and confrontational. The Five of Wands reversed here is saying there needs to be like people need to come together and be willing to talk about difficult topics without friction, without fighting, without pointing the finger, without projecting their like disappointments or shortcomings onto the other person. I think that what's going on here is people need to take ownership of what happened and where was the shortfalling? Where was the shortfalling? Without laying blame, without being emotionally immature and projecting insecurities onto the other one. People need to take ownership for their part in a story, in a situation. Yeah. Now, this last card here, this is a potential outcome. As I said, it's called Judgment from other cards. In this deck, it's called Time Space. It's number 20 from the Major Arcana. I feel like it's tied to this. This bottom line is very clear. There's a conflict here. There's a conflict here, right? I'll come back to the Fool in a minute, but there's a conflict here between these two people. And it says here that because there is some kind of issue that is needing to be resolved, the Judgment in reverse here is saying that people cannot, like, this is about you, right? This is your reading. I'm not talking about the other person here. I'm talking about you. This is saying that you need to be careful, not to be judgmental, not to point the finger at this person who you feel challenged by. This King of Wands in reverse is I feel a person that you are feeling very challenged by, that you have some kind of conflict with. Could be a family member, ex-partner, or something like that. There's something here about unresolved issues that people are coming back together to address. Now, Judgment in reverse is saying that you could miss out on a really big healing and a personal transformation that is going to elevate you in your personal growth, in your development, in your evolution, if you don't take ownership here of your part in this story, and you want to just project all of the things that you're feeling into this other person through judgment, judging them, and not being willing to own your part of this story, you'll miss out here on some massive transformation. There's a lot here at stake. I feel that's the main part of what's here. Is like there is a conflict here between two people that needs nurturing, it needs healing, it needs care, it needs communication. People need to communicate here, but there won't be any progress forward unless you shift gears out of your way of maybe wanting to lay blame on the person or point the finger at them or judge them, and not actually take responsibility for your part in the way that this situation has unfolded. As I said, compassion, understanding, love, emotional wellness, emotional maturity, those are the resources, and that's the energy you need to bring to this situation for yourself and for the other person. And there needs to be dialogue which is willing to face and confront the issues that are here without pointing the finger, without being argumentative, without laying blame, without being judgmental or afflicted with an inability to see your part in it in order to resolve what's here. A resolution is possible. A resolution is possible here. But you need to face things in a different way than maybe you have in the past. Capricorn, I'm just seeing if there's anything else here. I did want to touch back in on the Fool here in the position of this card is describing where you are now. So I feel like with this energy that there is a willingness here for you to do this work. But I'm getting this energy here of like you're being slightly dismissive. You're being a little bit too dismissive. And I think what's important here is for you to be willing to have these tough conversations and confront the issues that are here rather than just dismissing them and trying to feel like you're past all that now because you've been through so much on your own. But it's actually really important that you do have these tough conversations. It's important that you guys face whatever is here and have some clear communication where people are humble, where people are not pointing the finger and laying blame on the other, but everyone is accepting of themselves, of what happened, accepting of how things played out, but with the need for like a slight, like, you know, you need to just review what happened. It's not about being able to change the past. It's not about judging someone. It's not about laying blame. But there needs to be some review about what's happened and how things went down so that you can understand what actually is the responsibility of these people. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I feel like I'm just repeating myself now, so I'm going to leave it there. I really hope, Capricorn, that helped you to understand better the energy that you're dealing with and that you're able to take responsibility and work with what's in front of you, even though it's not easy. This is not an easy energy. I definitely feel that. There is a conflict here that needs resolution. But you need to own up to some things and you need to be more adult about the way you're addressing the situation and break out of a habit of laying blame or judging another person for their behavior without looking at your own. That's what I'm seeing here. Okay, Capricorn, I'm going to leave it there. I hope that finds you well. It's been an honor and a pleasure to read for you. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. I will see you in the next reading. Bye for now.